It is late at night. You are sitting on the edge of your bed. The room is quiet, but your mind is loud. You catch your own reflection in the dark window across from you, and for a second, you do not recognize the person looking back. You have been carrying something, maybe for months, maybe for years, a small voice that keeps saying, "This is not the life I want anymore." And tonight, that voice is no longer small. This moment is not random. It is the beginning of something your soul has been planning quietly for a long time. What happens next will change everything. And by the end of this video, you will finally understand why. Your eyes are on this video for a reason. Subscribe now, and I will show you what is really happening inside a person right before they change everything about themselves. Let me tell you about a woman named Sarah. She was 34 years old. She had a job that paid the bills, a relationship that looked fine from the outside, friends she had known since high school. Her life was, by every measure, normal. But one Tuesday morning, she woke up and could not get out of bed. She was not sick. She was not sad in a way she could explain. She just felt empty, hollow, like a house with all the lights on but nobody home. 3 months later, Sarah had quit her job, ended her relationship, moved to a new city, cut her hair short, started painting again after 15 years. Her friends thought she was having a breakdown. She was not having a breakdown. She was having a breakthrough. And this is the part most people get wrong. When someone suddenly changes everything, the world calls it impulsive, reckless, a midlife crisis, a phase. But the truth is, sudden change is almost never sudden. It is the final crack in a wall that has been breaking for years. You just did not see the small cracks before. Nobody did. Not even the person living inside that wall. Here is what is really happening in your brain when this moment arrives. Your mind has two voices. The first voice is the protector. It wants you safe. It wants you predictable. It wants you to keep doing what you have always done because what you have always done has kept you alive so far. The second voice is quieter. It is the voice of who you actually are underneath all the roles you play. The daughter, the son, the good employee, the strong friend, the one who never complains. For most of your life, the protector wins. It is louder. It is older. It knows how to scare you back into your seat. But there comes a moment, and you cannot predict when, where the quieter voice finally gets tired of being ignored. And when that happens, something inside you wakes up. Not slowly, all at once. Save this video. You will want to come back to it the next time someone tells you that you are changing too much, too fast. Think about a pot of water on the stove. For a long time, nothing seems to happen. The water just sits there. It looks calm. It looks the same as it did 10 minutes ago. But underneath, the temperature is rising 1 degree, then another, and then suddenly the water boils. To anyone watching, the boiling looks sudden, but the heat had been building the entire time. You are the water. Your life has been heating up for years. Every time you said yes when you meant no. Every time you smiled when you wanted to cry. Every time you stayed somewhere your heart was begging to leave. That was the heat rising. And one day, the boiling point arrives. Not because you are weak, because you are finally awake. Now let me tell you what most people do not understand about this moment. The change is not the problem. The change is the cure. For years, you were the problem to yourself. You were living a life that did not fit. Like wearing shoes 2 sizes too small and convincing yourself the pain was normal. Everyone walks like this, you told yourself. Everyone limps a little. But one day, you take the shoes off. And you remember what it feels like to walk without pain. And the moment you remember, you can never go back. You can never pretend again. That is what sudden change really is. It is not destruction. It is remembering. I want you to think about someone in your life right now. Maybe a friend, maybe a family member, maybe yourself. Someone who one day just woke up and walked away from the life they had built. Maybe they left a marriage that everyone thought was perfect. Maybe they quit a career they spent 20 years climbing. Maybe they stopped talking to family members who were supposed to love them. Maybe they moved across the country with no plan. People around them whispered. They said, "What happened?" They said, "This is not like them." They said they are throwing their life away. But here is the secret nobody tells you. That person did not throw their life away. They picked it up for the first time. Follow this channel for more truth like this. Your future self will thank you for the things you learn here. Now, I want to talk about something deeper, something that lives underneath the change, because this is where most people miss the real story. When a person suddenly changes everything, there is almost always a moment that came right before. A small moment, so small that other people did not even notice it. But to the person living it, that moment was an earthquake. It might have been a phone call, a look in the mirror, a conversation with a stranger, a song that played in the car, a sentence in a book, a dream they could not shake, something tiny that suddenly made every lie they had been telling themselves impossible to believe anymore. Psychologists have a name for this. They call it a moment of meaning. It is when your unconscious mind finally breaks through to your conscious mind and shows you with terrifying clarity who you really are and what you really want. You cannot plan a moment of meaning. You can only be ready when it comes. And here is the hard part. Once it comes, you have a choice. You can pretend you did not see it. You can go back to sleep. You can numb the feeling with food, with work, with scrolling, with anything that lets you avoid the truth. Or you can listen. You can say, okay, I see it now, and I will not unsee it. If you choose to listen, your life will change. Not slowly, not gently. It will crack open like an egg. And it has to, because the version of you that fit inside the old shell cannot survive in the new world you are about to build. This is why people who go through sudden change often feel like they are dying. In a way they are. The old self has to die for the new self to live. There is no shortcut. There is no way around it. There is only through. And the people who love you, who are used to the old you, they will not understand. They will grieve the version of you they knew. Some of them will be angry. Some of them will try to pull you back. Some of them will leave. This is the loneliest part of becoming yourself. Share this video with someone who is going through a quiet storm right now. They need to know they are not crazy. They are waking up. Let me tell you about a man named David. He was a lawyer, a good one. He made a lot of money. He had a beautiful family. He drove the kind of car that made his neighbors look twice. But every Sunday night, David would sit in his garage in his car for an extra 10 minutes before going inside. He told himself he was listening to the end of a podcast, but really he was bracing himself for the week ahead, for the life he had built. One Sunday, he sat in that car for 40 minutes, then an hour. Then he started crying and he could not stop. He was 47 years old, and he could not remember the last time he had cried. The next morning, he went to work and quit, just like that. No plan, no backup, no second thoughts. He came home and told his wife he could not pretend anymore. He was not happy. He had not been happy for 15 years. And she looked at him and she said, I know. She had known the whole time, because she had been pretending too. This is what nobody tells you about sudden change. Sometimes the people closest to you are waiting for you to be brave first. They are stuck in the same prison. They just did not have the key. And when you finally break out, you give them permission to break out too. Your courage is contagious. Your honesty is permission. Your change is a gift, even when it does not feel like one. Now, I want you to understand something important. Not every sudden change is good. Sometimes people change everything because they are running from something instead of running towards something. There is a difference, and you need to know it. When you are running from something, the change feels frantic, desperate. You are trying to escape a feeling, and you think a new city, a new job, a new partner will fix it. But the feeling follows you, because the feeling lives inside you, not in your circumstances. When you are running towards something, the change feels different. It feels scary, yes, but underneath the fear, there is a quiet sense of coming home. You are not escaping. You are arriving. The way to tell the difference is simple. Ask yourself one question. If nothing changed about my outside life, but the feeling inside me went away, would I still want to make this change? If the answer is no, you are running from something. Sit with the feeling first. Heal the inside before you change the outside. If the answer is yes, you are running towards something real. And you should listen to it, even if it terrifies you. Bookmark this video. You will need these words again, probably sooner than you think. Here is another truth most people miss. The reason sudden change feels so powerful is because it is not just about your life. It is about your identity. For years, you have been telling yourself a story about who you are. I am the responsible one. I am the strong one. I am the one who never complains. I am the one who holds everyone together. I am the good child. I am the perfect partner. I am the dependable employee. These stories are not lies exactly. They are roles. Costumes you put on so the people around you would feel safe. So you would feel safe. So the world would keep making sense. But the costume is not you. And one day you cannot wear it anymore. It itches. It chokes. It feels like a costume. When you finally take it off, you do not know who you are underneath. And that is the most terrifying part of sudden change. Not the leaving, not the choosing, the not knowing. You will spend weeks, sometimes months, walking around feeling like a stranger to yourself. Old hobbies will feel boring. Old friends will feel distant. Old conversations will feel hollow. You will look in the mirror and not know what you see. This is not a sign that something is wrong. This is the sign that something is finally right. You are meeting yourself for the first time. Not the version your parents wanted. Not the version your culture taught you. Not the version your trauma built. You. And meeting yourself is uncomfortable. Because for so long, you avoided being alone with you. Now you have no choice. Stay close to this channel. The next videos will go even deeper into the parts of yourself you have been avoiding. Let me tell you something about the timing of sudden change. It is almost never random. There are seasons of life when this kind of awakening is more likely to happen. And if you are in one of these seasons right now, you need to know it. The first season is after a loss. When someone you love dies, when a relationship ends, when you lose a job, when a dream collapses. Loss strips away the things you used to hide behind. And in the silence that follows, you finally hear yourself. The second season is at the beginning of a new decade in your life. Turning 30, turning 40, turning 50. These birthdays sound like just numbers, but they hit deeper than we admit. They make us count what we have done and what we have not. They make us honest with the time we have left. The third season is after a long period of being too busy. When the noise stops, the truth shows up. If you have been running for years, the moment you finally rest, everything you were running from will catch up to you, and it will demand to be heard. The fourth season is after a small but profound moment of joy. This one is the strangest. Sometimes in the middle of a perfectly ordinary day, you feel a flash of pure aliveness. A laugh that comes from your belly, a sunset that makes you stop walking, a child saying something honest. And in that flash, you remember what alive feels like. And once you remember, the gray life you have been living becomes unbearable. If any of these seasons are happening in your life right now, pay attention. Your soul is opening a door. You do not have to walk through it, but it will keep opening again and again until you do. Now, I want to talk about the fear, because if you are even thinking about changing everything in your life, the fear is loud, and it is lying to you. The fear says you will lose everything. The fear says you will end up alone. The fear says you will regret this. The fear says, who do you think you are? But fear is not a fortune teller. Fear is a memory. It is the part of you that remembers every time you tried something new as a child and got hurt, embarrassed, or rejected. It is trying to protect that small child inside you. It thinks it is doing its job. You can thank the fear. You can say, I hear you. I know you are scared. I know you are trying to keep me safe. But I am not that small child anymore. I have grown. I have survived hard things. I can handle this. And then you keep walking. The fear will not go away. But it does not get to drive anymore. You drive. The fear can come along for the ride, but it sits in the back seat. This is what real courage looks like. Not the absence of fear, the decision to move forward while the fear is still screaming. Save this video for the days when the fear gets too loud. Come back. Read these words again. They will remind you who you are. There is one more thing I need to tell you about sudden change, and this is the most important part of the whole video. So listen close. When you change everything, you will lose people. Some of them will leave loud with anger and accusations. Some will leave quiet, just slowly fading from your life. Some will stay in your life but feel like strangers now. This is not your failure. This is the natural sorting that happens when you become more honest. Some people only love the costume. Some people only loved the version of you who served them. Some people only loved you when you were small. And when you grow, those people cannot grow with you. Not because they are bad, because they are still asleep, and your awakeness threatens their sleep. You do not have to be angry at them. You do not have to convince them. You do not have to apologize for becoming yourself. You just have to keep going. The people who are meant to be in your new life will find you. Some of them are already there, waiting for you to be ready. Some of them you have not met yet. But they are coming. Trust this. The loneliness of becoming yourself is temporary. The loneliness of staying false is forever. Choose your loneliness wisely. And remember this. The person you are becoming has been waiting for you your whole life. They have been patient. They have been quiet. They have been knocking softly on the door of your consciousness year after year, asking you to come home. When you finally answer, they do not say, "I told you so." They do not say, "What took you so long?" They just open their arms and they say, "Welcome home. You are safe now. You are real now. You are free." This is what sudden change really is. It is not a crisis. It is a homecoming. It is the most natural thing in the world. It is your soul finally getting to live in the body it was given. So if you are in this moment right now, if you are feeling the heat rising, if you are hearing the quiet voice get louder, do not be afraid. You are not breaking. You are becoming. The world needs more people who are awake, who are alive, who are real, who are true, who are free, who are honest enough to walk away from lives that were killing them softly. Be one of those people. Even if your hands shake, even if your voice cracks, even if no one understands, be one of those people. Because at the end of your life, when you look back, the only thing that will matter is whether you lived as yourself. Not as the role, not as the costume, not as the expectation, as yourself. And the moment you choose yourself, even once, even quietly, even at 3 a.m. on the edge of your bed in a room nobody else can see, you have already won. You are already free. You just have to keep walking until your outside life catches up with your inside truth. If one person in this video reminded you of yourself, share it with them. Subscribe for more videos that speak the truth you need to hear.